When someone you care about stops valuing you, it can feel like a punch to the gut. It's heartbreaking and disorienting, especially when you've given your time, energy, and heart to a relationship. You may find yourself questioning what went wrong, wondering if you did something to deserve this treatment, or beating yourself up for not seeing the signs sooner. But here's the truth: when someone doesn't value you anymore, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their inability to see the treasure you are. And that, my friend, is not a problem you can fix, but there is something powerful you can do about it, and it starts with you. You see, the simple approach I want to talk about today is not about chasing after validation or bending yourself into knots to regain someone's affection. No, the true power lies in shifting your focus back to yourself. It's about reclaiming your own value, standing firm in your worth, and above all, protecting your peace. When someone no longer values you, the most courageous thing you can do is stop investing your emotional energy into them and start investing it into the most important relationship in your life, your relationship with yourself. The first step in this simple approach is to stop chasing. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to get that person's attention, to earn back their approval, or to make them see what they're missing. You might text them more, call them more, or try harder in hopes that they will recognize how important you are. But let me tell you something: when someone truly values you, they don't need to be chased. They see your worth without question. They don't leave you guessing about where you stand. So the moment you stop chasing is the moment you start taking back your power. It's a shift from being reactive to being proactive about your own happiness. The next piece of this simple approach is to set boundaries. When someone stops valuing you, it's a signal that your boundaries have likely been crossed. Maybe you've allowed disrespect, taken on their emotional baggage, or overextended yourself in ways that are unhealthy. Setting boundaries is not about punishment or revenge. It's about protecting your energy and honoring your needs. It's about drawing a line in the sand and saying, I deserve respect, I deserve kindness, and I deserve kindness, and I deserve love not as a favor, but as my birthright. Boundaries allow you to teach people how to treat you, but more importantly, they teach you how to treat yourself. Let go of the need for closure. Often when someone stops valuing you, there's a part of you that wants closure and explanation and apology, some sort of recognition of the hurt they've caused. But closure isn't something that someone else can give you. It's something you give yourself. Let go of the need for them to apologize or validate your feelings. You do not need their acknowledgement to heal. The truth is, you are fully capable of processing your emotions, forgiving yourself, and finding peace, regardless of whether they ever come to terms with their actions. The closure you're seeking is found within you. Another important part of this approach is to embrace your worth unapologetically. When someone stops valuing you, it's easy to internalize their behavior, thinking that maybe you're not enough or that something about you is broken. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Their inability to recognize your worth is a reflection of their limitations, not yours. So it's time to start seeing yourself for the incredible, worthy individual that you are. No more shrinking, no more doubting, no more second guessing. Your worth is not determined by their actions, words, or lack of recognition. You are enough exactly as you are. And when you begin to own your worth, you stop seeking validation from people who cannot see it. When you try this simple approach, stopping the chase, investing in yourself, setting boundaries, letting go of the need for closure, owning your worth, and moving forward with grace, you will see what happens. You will begin to feel lighter, freer, and more at peace. You will stop waiting for someone else to recognize your value because you will already recognize it yourself. You will attract people who see you, respect you, and lift you up. And most importantly, you will build a life that reflects the love and respect you have for yourself. The moment you stop allowing someone to dictate your worth is the moment you truly reclaim your power. And that, my friend, is when your life begins to change. When someone no longer values you, resist the urge to chase after their approval. Redirect your energy towards yourself and your own growth. Shift your focus from seeking validation from others to nurturing your own well-being. Reconnect with your passions, goals, and self-care routines. Protect your emotional energy by setting clear boundaries. Teach others how to treat you by showing respect for yourself and your needs. Recognize and own your value. Don't let someone else's inability to see it diminish your belief in your own worth. Rather than seeking validation from someone who doesn't appreciate you, choose to protect your peace by letting go of toxic relationships. The moment you stop chasing someone who doesn't value you is the moment you reclaim your personal power. Your worth is not dependent on their recognition. Don't internalize their actions or behavior. Their treatment of you is a reflection of them, not you. Stop doubting yourself and trust in your worth. Understand that some relationships are not meant to last forever. Let go with grace, knowing that new opportunities and relationships will come. When you begin to value yourself, you start attracting people who will also value and respect you. Your self-worth will be reflected in the relationships you cultivate. When someone no longer values you, the instinctive response can often be to chase after their attention, their approval, or their validation. It's natural to want to hold on to relationships, especially when you've invested time, energy, and emotions into them. You might feel hurt, confused, or rejected, and in that emotional space, chasing after the person who's pulling away seems like the only way to restore balance or win back what you had. But what if I told you that stopping the chase is the key to reclaiming your personal power and finding peace? When you chase someone who doesn't value you, you're essentially putting your emotional well-being in their hands. You become reactive, constantly adjusting your behavior, your words, or your actions in an attempt to get a reaction from them. This can take the form of texting more frequently, showing up uninvited, seeking their approval through gifts or gestures, or bending over backward to get back in their good graces. You tell yourself that if you try hard enough, if you show them how much you care, they will realize your worth and come back to you. But the reality is that when someone doesn't value you, no amount of chasing will make them appreciate you more. The first issue with chasing is that it erodes your sense of self-worth. By constantly seeking validation from someone who is indifferent or dismissive of your value, you reinforce the idea that your worth is conditional. You begin to believe that you need their approval, their attention, or their affection to feel good about yourself. This is not only draining emotionally, but it's also incredibly disempowering. It places your sense of identity and happiness in the hands of someone else, which makes you vulnerable to constant disappointment and heartache. The act of chasing also stems from a place of desperation. When you feel as though you are losing someone or that they no longer value you, it can trigger feelings of fear and insecurity. These emotions may drive you to act in ways that are not true to your authentic self, becoming someone you think they want you to be, rather than staying grounded in who you truly are. You might find yourself compromising on your own needs, desires, or values just to regain their affection. But in doing so, you're not only losing sight of your own self-respect, you're also opening the door for further disrespect from the other person. Relationships that are built on such desperation lack balance, and more often than not, they become emotionally exhausting for both parties involved. Another critical reason to stop chasing is that it keeps you stuck in the past. When you're chasing someone who no longer values you, you're essentially trying to recreate something that no longer exists. You're clinging to an image of the person or the relationship as it once was, instead of accepting the reality of how things have shifted. People grow, change, and evolve, and so do relationships. If someone has made it clear that they don't value you, continuing to chase them only prevents you from moving forward. It keeps you emotionally attached to a version of the relationship that has faded and is unlikely to return. The more you chase, the less room there is for new opportunities, new connections, and new experiences that will help you grow. Stopping the chase also allows you to set healthy boundaries. When you stop pursuing someone who doesn't respect you, you're sending a clear message: I deserve more than this. I will not tolerate being treated with indifference or disrespect. Boundaries are not about punishing the other person, they are about protecting your own emotional health and well-being. When you stop chasing, you take control of the situation by asserting that your value does not depend on the approval of others. This empowers you to take a step back, reassess your needs, and determine what kind of relationships you truly want in your life, relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and appreciation. One of the most powerful aspects of stopping the chase is that it allows you to reclaim your emotional energy. Chasing someone who doesn't value you is exhausting. It drains you of your time, your thoughts, and your spirit. When you stop chasing, you free up that energy to focus on yourself. You begin to invest in your own growth, pursue your own passions, and cultivate your own happiness. This shift from external validation to internal fulfillment is not only liberating, it's transformational. As you stop chasing, you become more in tune with who you truly are and what you truly want. You begin to prioritize your own goals, desires, and happiness without needing someone else to give you permission to do so. Letting go of the chase also leads to a shift in how you view the other person. When you stop pursuing someone, you stop putting them on a pedestal. You begin to see them more clearly, without the rose-colored glasses of longing or desperation. You begin to realize that their inability to value you is not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of their inability to see or appreciate your unique qualities. You stop making excuses for their behavior and stop tolerating treatment that doesn't meet your standards. As you detach emotionally, you start to reclaim your perspective and your clarity, which allows you to make better decisions moving forward. When someone no longer values you, it can feel like a personal loss, and naturally, your first instinct might be to look for ways to get that person back or prove your worth to them. You may find yourself asking, what did I do wrong? Or how can I fix this? But in the midst of these emotions, one of the most powerful shifts you can make is to stop seeking validation externally and turn your focus inward. Investing in yourself is not just a concept, it's a practice that allows you to heal, grow, and regain your sense of self-worth independent of anyone else's approval. Investing in yourself starts with a mindset shift, recognizing that your value is not dependent on someone else's actions or opinions. Too often, when a person pulls away or stops valuing us, we internalize it as a reflection of who we are, thinking that we somehow weren't good enough. But in reality, the way others treat us is a reflection of their own struggles, limitations, and capacity for connection. When you start to invest in yourself, you begin to detach your sense of worth from their behavior and place it squarely back on you, where it belongs. The first step in investing in yourself is self-care. Self-care is not just about pampering yourself with spa days or indulgent treats, it's about honoring your needs, both physically and emotionally. It means making time for rest, taking care of your body through exercise and nutrition, and giving yourself the grace to relax without feeling guilty. Often, when we're emotionally drained from relationships that don't serve us, we forget the importance of nurturing ourselves. We might push through, ignore our exhaustion, or try to power through the pain, but the truth is our emotional and physical health are deeply interconnected. Prioritizing self-care allows you to restore your energy and gives you the strength to move forward with clarity and confidence. Alongside physical self-care, emotional self-care is equally important. This means taking the time to process your feelings and emotions rather than suppressing them. Investing in yourself emotionally means not shying away from your pain, but facing it head-on, allowing yourself to grieve the loss of a relationship that no longer serves you. But it also means giving yourself permission to heal. It's easy to get stuck in a cycle of rumination, constantly replaying what went wrong or wondering how things could have been different. However, investing in your emotional health means practicing forgiveness first for yourself, and then for the other person. It means letting go of the emotional weight of the past so you can move forward with a clean slate. And don't forget about educating yourself, whether that's through reading books, attending workshops, or learning new skills. Knowledge is one of the most valuable investments you can make in yourself. It expands your horizons, sharpens your mind, and opens up new possibilities. Continuous learning keeps you growing and evolving, not just in your career or personal life, but in your sense of self-worth. It shows you that you are always capable of achieving more, regardless of where you've been or who has or hasn't valued you in the past. When you begin to invest in yourself through self-care, personal growth, setting goals, building meaningful relationships, and showing yourself compassion, you begin to realize that your worth was never dependent on anyone else. It was always within you. This shift in perspective not only helps you heal from past hurts, but also sets you on a path toward a more fulfilling, authentic, and empowered life. Setting healthy boundaries is one of the most powerful and necessary practices you can adopt in any relationship, especially when you feel like someone no longer values you. Boundaries are not walls that shut people out. They are guidelines that protect your emotional, physical, and mental well-being. They help you establish limits that communicate what is acceptable and what is not, ensuring that your needs and feelings are respected. When someone stops valuing you, it's crucial to take a step back and ask yourself, what am I willing to accept? What do I need to feel valued and respected? Setting boundaries allows you to reclaim your power, protect your energy, and take control of your emotional health. Communicating your boundaries effectively is another crucial step. Boundaries aren't helpful if you don't communicate them, and clear communication is key. It's important to express your boundaries calmly, directly, and without apology. You don't need to explain or justify your boundaries. They are simply non-negotiable standards that reflect your personal values and needs. For instance, if someone is disrespecting your time by repeatedly canceling plans, you might say, "I value my time and I need to be respected. If this continues, I will need to reconsider our future plans." This approach is firm yet respectful, and it communicates your expectation without being confrontational. It's important to recognize that setting boundaries doesn't mean shutting people out. It's not about punishing others or keeping them at a distance. It's about taking care of yourself. Boundaries allow you to create healthy, balanced relationships where you can give and receive without feeling depleted. For example, you might set a boundary that allows you to spend time with someone but also ensures that you maintain enough personal space to recharge. This way, you can nurture the relationship without sacrificing your own needs. One of the most challenging aspects of setting boundaries is dealing with pushback from others, people who are used to taking advantage of your generosity or who are accustomed to not respecting your limits may resist the changes you're making. They might test your boundaries to see if you'll back down. It's essential to remain consistent and firm in your decisions. If someone pushes back on your boundary, it's crucial to stand by it. Don't give in or compromise because of guilt or fear of conflict. Respecting your boundaries is an act of self-care. And if someone truly values you, they will learn to respect your limits as well. If they don't, then that's a clear sign that they might not be someone who deserves a place in your life. Another key part of setting healthy boundaries is being aware of your emotional triggers. When we let others cross our boundaries, it often comes from a place of emotional vulnerability. For example, if you have a history of feeling abandoned or unimportant, you may tolerate mistreatment in relationships out of fear of being alone. Understanding your triggers allows you to recognize when someone is crossing a boundary so you can stop it before it escalates. It's important to acknowledge that your emotional well-being is worth protecting, and you don't need to justify your feelings to anyone. Boundaries also involve saying no and doing so without guilt. Many of us struggle with saying no because we fear disappointing others or being perceived as rude, but learning to say no is essential to maintaining your own health and happiness. Saying no isn't about being selfish, it's about protecting your energy and ensuring that you don't overextend yourself in ways that feel uncomfortable or draining. By saying no when you need to, you make space for the things and people that truly matter to you, and you honor your time and commitments. Setting boundaries is not just about protecting yourself from others, it's also about protecting yourself from your own behaviors. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemies when it comes to respecting our own boundaries. But we might ignore our own needs in favor of helping others or get caught up in guilt when we need to take time for ourselves. Setting boundaries means holding yourself accountable for your own well-being, and that includes recognizing when you're overextending yourself or neglecting your needs. It's important to check in with yourself regularly and ask, am I taking care of myself? Am I honoring my own boundaries? Another important aspect of boundary setting is respecting the boundaries of others. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and part of that respect is acknowledging and honoring the boundaries of the people you care about. This means listening when they express their limits and ensuring that you don't pressure or manipulate them into crossing those limits. Mutual respect for each other's boundaries creates an environment where both parties feel safe, valued, and heard. Letting go of the need for closure can be one of the most challenging yet liberating steps you can take when a relationship no longer serves you. We often find ourselves yearning for that final conversation, that last piece of information that will make everything make sense. We want to understand why someone treated us the way they did or why things ended the way they did. We search for closure to bring us peace, to help us make sense of the pain, and to give us some kind of finality. But in truth, closure isn't always something we can obtain from others. It's something we must give ourselves. Part of this acceptance comes from the realization that healing doesn't require answers. We often think that understanding why something happened will help us heal, but that's not always the case. The emotional wound doesn't always need to be explained in order to be healed. Healing comes from processing your emotions, learning from the experience, and finding ways to move forward. It's about recognizing the pain, feeling it, and then deciding to let go of it. You don't need an explanation from the other person in order to move on. You simply need to give yourself permission to heal without needing a definitive answer. Another important aspect of letting go of the need for closure is recognizing that closure is a process. It's not something that happens all at once or in a single moment. Closure is something that unfolds gradually as you work through your emotions and experiences. It's about letting go of the emotional attachment to the situation or person, releasing the need to understand everything, and finding peace within yourself. It's an internal process of acceptance, forgiveness, and self-compassion. As time passes and you focus on your own growth, the pain of the past begins to lose its hold on you, and closure naturally follows. Another key to letting go of the need for closure is focusing on the present moment. Often, the search for closure keeps us tied to the past, reliving the pain, the conversations, the misunderstandings. But by focusing on the present, you allow yourself to free up the energy you've been using to chase after closure and redirect it towards your life now. You start to realize that the past no longer has a hold over you, and the only thing that truly matters is how you choose to move forward. You have the power to create a future that is not defined by past hurts or unanswered questions. Embracing your worth is one of the most transformative steps you can take in life. It is about recognizing and fully accepting that you are deserving of respect, love, and happiness, regardless of your past circumstances or the opinions of others. This journey often begins with a shift in mindset, moving away from self-doubt, comparison, and seeking validation from external sources to a place of deep, unwavering self-acceptance. When you embrace your worth, you stop settling for less than you deserve and start to demand the level of respect, kindness, and love that reflects your true value. One of the first challenges in embracing your worth is recognizing how much you've internalized negative beliefs about yourself. From a young age, many of us are conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to external factors, our achievements, appearance, or how well we are liked by others. We measure our value through the approval of others, constantly chasing praise, recognition, or affection to feel validated. But the truth is, these external sources of validation are fleeting and can leave us feeling empty. When you embrace your worth, you begin to detach from the need for external validation and learn to find your value within. The process of embracing your worth starts with redefining your self-talk. The language you use with yourself shapes the way you see yourself and the way you carry yourself in the world. Negative self-talk, like calling yourself stupid, unworthy, or incapable, reinforces a false narrative that lowers your self-esteem and diminishes your self-worth. Instead, you need to shift your inner dialogue to one of encouragement and compassion. Replace harsh, self-critical thoughts with affirmations of strength and beauty. Acknowledge your accomplishments, even the small ones, and remind yourself that you are enough as you are, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. Part of embracing your worth is also about letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism often stems from a deep fear of not being enough. We believe that if we can just be perfect, whether in our appearance, our work, or our relationships, we'll finally feel worthy. However, the pursuit of perfection is an exhausting and ultimately unfulfilling journey because perfection is unattainable. Embracing your worth means accepting yourself as a beautifully imperfect human being. It means understanding that mistakes are a part of life and that your worth is not defined by your ability to be perfect. By letting go of perfectionism, you free yourself from the pressure to constantly prove your value to others and to yourself. Embracing your worth also involves letting go of the past. Often we carry the weight of past failures, rejections, or painful experiences into our present lives. These experiences may shape the way we view ourselves, causing us to believe that we are unworthy of love, success, or happiness. But embracing your worth means releasing the grip of the past and stepping into the present moment. It's about forgiving yourself for mistakes you've made and recognizing that you are not defined by your past experiences. You are a dynamic, evolving individual with limitless potential, and the past does not dictate your future. The first step in choosing peace over validation is recognizing how much you rely on external approval. In today's world, it is easy to get caught up in the desire to impress others, whether it's your boss, your partner, your friends, or even strangers on social media. We are constantly seeking likes, comments, and praise, and we measure our worth based on how others see us. When we rely on external validation, we are giving away our power. We allow others to define our value, and in doing so, we are subject to their opinions, which can change at any given moment. The validation we receive from others is often temporary, and it doesn't truly fill the deeper need for acceptance and peace within ourselves. Realizing this is the first step to choosing peace. Releasing the fear of judgment is another crucial aspect of choosing peace over validation. Many of us hold back from expressing ourselves authentically because we fear judgment or criticism. We're afraid that if we show the world who we truly are, we won't be accepted or loved. But the truth is, living in fear of judgment creates inner conflict. You may find yourself trying to be someone you're not just to fit in or gain approval. This creates a lack of peace within yourself because you are not being true to who you are. To choose peace, you must let go of the need to please others. You must embrace the idea that not everyone will like or agree with you, and that's okay. Your worth is not defined by the approval of others, but by your ability to stay true to yourself. Choosing peace over validation is not about rejecting the approval of others entirely, but rather about recognizing that your peace and happiness are not dependent on it. When you stop chasing external validation, you begin to find the inner peace that comes from knowing your worth and trusting yourself. It's a shift from living for others' approval to living for your own well-being. It is a choice to embrace your authentic self, set boundaries, trust your intuition, and accept your imperfections. In doing so, you will find the peace you've been seeking all along. Setting clear intentions is another important step in rediscovering your power. Many people go through life without a clear sense of direction, reacting to situations as they come rather than proactively shaping their future. When you set intentions, you take control of your life. You decide what you want, why you want it, and how you plan to achieve it. Intentions give you purpose and focus, and they help you align your actions with your goals. By setting clear intentions, you empower yourself to take the necessary steps toward achieving your dreams. You no longer feel like a victim of circumstances, but rather an active participant in the creation of your own reality. Rediscovering your power also involves healing emotional wounds. Many people carry around emotional baggage from past trauma, heartbreak, or unresolved conflicts. These wounds can prevent us from stepping into our full power because they create fear, shame, or a sense of unworthiness. Healing is an essential part of reclaiming your power. It involves confronting and releasing these wounds, whether through therapy, journaling, meditation, or simply allowing yourself to feel and process your emotions. Healing is a journey, and it takes time, but the more you let go of past pain, the more space you create for your inner power to emerge. As you heal, you begin to feel more confident, more at peace with yourself, and more capable of facing challenges head-on. Reframing failure is another key to letting go of self-doubt. Failure is often seen as the ultimate evidence of inadequacy, but in reality, failure is one of the most valuable learning experiences you can have. Many successful people have faced multiple failures before achieving their goals. Each setback is an opportunity for growth, learning, and improvement. Instead of fearing failure or allowing it to reinforce your self-doubt, start viewing it as a stepping stone to success. Every time you fall short of your expectations, ask yourself what lessons you can take from the experience and how you can do better next time. This mindset shift helps to remove the stigma of failure and allows you to embrace challenges without the paralyzing fear of judgment or self-criticism. Building confidence is a critical element in letting go of self-doubt. Confidence comes from experience, but it also comes from intentionally creating opportunities for yourself to succeed. One way to build confidence is by setting small, achievable goals and accomplishing them. Each success, no matter how small, reinforces your belief in your abilities and helps to weaken the hold that self-doubt has over you. These accomplishments build momentum and remind you that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. Confidence also grows when you take consistent action, even when you feel unsure. The more you act despite your self-doubt, the more you realize that you can handle challenges and keep moving forward, regardless of how you feel inside. A critical part of overcoming self-doubt is taking consistent action, even when you feel uncertain. Self-doubt often paralyzes us into inaction. We may procrastinate, hesitate, or avoid making decisions because we fear that we won't succeed. However, action is one of the most effective ways to combat self-doubt. When you take action, regardless of your fears, you prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. Even if the outcome isn't perfect or as expected, taking action builds resilience and teaches you that failure is not the end, but simply part of the journey. By pushing through self-doubt and continuing to move forward, you gradually prove to yourself that you are capable, confident, and strong. Another critical practice in letting go of self-doubt is affirming your worth regularly. Self-doubt often stems from a deep-seated belief that we are not good enough. To combat this, it's important to affirm your inherent worth and remind yourself of your strengths, talents, and accomplishments. Positive affirmations are a powerful tool in reshaping your beliefs about yourself. Start by writing down a few affirmations that resonate with you, such as I am enough, I am capable, or I believe in myself. Repeat these affirmations daily and make them a part of your routine. Over time, these positive statements can reprogram your mind and help to diminish the power of self-doubt. Letting go of self-doubt is an ongoing practice, but it is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. When you challenge the negative beliefs that fuel your doubt, practice self-compassion, take action, and embrace your worth, you begin to create a life where self-doubt no longer has control. Instead, you step into your power, confidence, and potential, and you realize that you are more capable than you ever thought possible. Moving on with grace is not just about letting go of the past, it's about doing so in a way that preserves your dignity, peace, and self-respect. Life often presents us with situations where we must part ways with people, dreams, or situations that no longer serve us. Whether it's the end of a relationship, the closure of a chapter in our careers, or the letting go of expectations, moving on can be one of the most challenging yet transformative experiences. Moving on with grace is about embracing change with acceptance, letting go of bitterness or regret, and carrying forward the lessons learned with a sense of poise and strength. The first step in moving on with grace is acknowledging your emotions. When faced with change or loss, it's natural to experience a variety of emotions, from sadness and frustration to anger and confusion. Moving on with grace does not mean repressing these emotions or pretending that they don't exist. It's important to allow yourself to feel, to process, and to acknowledge the impact the situation has had on you. Only by recognizing and accepting your feelings can you begin to heal and move forward. Suppressing emotions often leads to long-term pain, while accepting them allows for true growth. When you honor your emotions, you give yourself the space to heal without carrying emotional baggage forward into your future. Once you've acknowledged your emotions, the next step is to release the past without holding on to resentment. It's easy to become entangled in the narrative of what went wrong or why things didn't work out as you had hoped. The mind often clings to these stories, holding on to hurt and disappointment. However, in order to move on with grace, you must learn to let go of the need for closure or justification. Sometimes we get stuck in a loop of wishing things had turned out differently or blaming others for our pain. But this only keeps us tethered to the past. Moving on with grace means forgiving not for the sake of the other person or situation, but for your own peace. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the wrongs done to you. It simply means releasing the grip that the past has on your present. Letting go of resentment frees you from the negative emotions that hold you back from moving forward. As you move forward, it's important to embrace the lessons learned from the experience. Every situation, no matter how painful, carries valuable lessons that contribute to our growth. Moving on with grace means looking at what you've gone through and finding the wisdom in it. Perhaps you learned something about yourself, about others, or about life in general. Maybe you gained a deeper understanding of your needs, boundaries, or desires. Whatever the lesson may be, embracing it allows you to move forward with purpose and intention. It helps you to transform past hurt into strength and resilience, and it gives you the confidence to handle future challenges with greater wisdom. Another essential part of moving on with grace is nurturing your emotional and physical health. When going through difficult transitions, it's easy to neglect your well-being. However, taking care of your body and mind is crucial for the healing process. Exercise, healthy eating, and getting enough rest all contribute to your ability to cope with change. Engaging in self-care practices such as journaling, meditation, or spending time with loved ones can also help you stay grounded and focused. When you care for your emotional and physical health, you build the resilience needed to navigate life's challenges with strength and grace. Attracting what you deserve is not about simply hoping for good things to come into your life. It's about aligning yourself with the energy and mindset necessary to draw in the people, opportunities, and experiences that reflect your true worth. Many people spend their lives waiting for external circumstances to change, for others to recognize their value, or for the universe to send them the perfect circumstances. However, true attraction begins within. By cultivating the right mindset, developing self-love, setting clear intentions, and taking inspired action, you can start to attract the life and experiences you deserve. Self-love plays a crucial role in attracting what you deserve. When you truly love yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. Self-love is about valuing yourself and treating yourself with the same kindness, respect, and care that you would offer a loved one. People who don't practice self-love often attract situations or relationships that mirror their low self-esteem, as they don't believe they deserve anything better. When you love yourself, you are less likely to settle for less than what you deserve, and you are more likely to attract healthy, fulfilling relationships and opportunities that align with your true worth. Self-love also enables you to set boundaries that protect your energy and well-being, ensuring that you only attract the things that are in harmony with who you are. Attracting what you deserve also requires embracing the process of growth. Often we desire instant gratification, but the truth is that attracting what you deserve is a journey, not a destination. Personal growth, learning, and evolving are essential parts of this journey. As you grow and change, you become more aligned with your true desires, and the things that were once out of reach start to become accessible. You may face challenges along the way, but these challenges are part of the growth process. Each setback or obstacle is an opportunity to learn more about yourself, refine your goals, and develop the skills or mindset necessary to achieve them. The universe responds to your level of growth, and as you evolve, you naturally become more capable of attracting the experiences and opportunities that match your higher self. Attracting what you deserve is not about waiting for things to happen to you. It's about becoming the person who embodies the energy, mindset, and actions that align with your desires. When you recognize your worth, set clear intentions, embrace positivity, take inspired action, and practice gratitude, you create a magnetic force that draws in everything you are worthy of. As you evolve and grow, you naturally begin to attract the people, opportunities, and experiences that reflect your true value, helping you create the life you've always deserved.